What's up, guys? ZenBurro here, and today I am looking at the film called Shadow of the Vampire, which stars John Malkovich and William Dafoe. And it's another vampire classic, I think. It's a retelling of the making of the 1922 classic Nosferatu. And this film tells it in a way where it blurs the line between fantasy and reality, which is what I like. William Dafoe plays the Max Schreck, the guy who basically portrayed Count Orlok in the original film. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, because I feel as though it's too long to write about and a little wordy, so I'll just say it here, is that the film makes me think about philosophical questions like, can we really trust our senses, in the sense that this person named Max Schreck, who claims to play a vampire, in the film it's shown that he really is a vampire, and that's one of the strengths of this movie, I think, is that the crew is simultaneously both terrified of him and skeptical of him. All they see is a man who is taking his role too seriously, when in fact the film suggests that Max Schreck is kind of a prisoner of his own appetites. And so it creates this unique kind of tension in the making of this film. They're trying to create a film about disease and poverty and death, and here they have a creature that represents all of that in their world, but they don't realize it until it's too late. And the way John Malkovich portrays Murnau, the director, is also pretty. It's also pretty good. He kind of takes on the role of the obsessive visionary who will stop at nothing to realize that vision. And there are a lot of themes in this movie, a lot of vampiric themes, as I'll call it, because there are a couple scenes and a few lines of dialogue that mention how art requires sacrifice, and these machines, like the camera and stuff, they kind of take your soul away, and so it's no longer yours. And that's kind of what the vampire is. It's a creature that just takes pieces of you and leaves you all dried up. Although one could say, like, the value of art is that you put all this stuff, put your soul out onto these works so that you can feel some sense of catharsis. In this film, art is suggested to be more vampiric, and that the more you put yourself into these works, the less vitality you have. At least that's how I interpreted the film. There are many other interpretations you can read, and I think that's why this film is considered still considered good, and it's my first time seeing it. So, Shadow of the Vampire I would highly recommend it, especially if you haven't seen it yet and you're a vampire film buff like me or my friend. Uh, and it's kind of cool to watch this film because I watched it after seeing the silent film again, and also Nosferatu the Vampire, which I will review, which will be my next review, actually. Or not really review, more like thoughts on film. Either way, it's going to be both. And watching this film, it really, it all culminates together in my head. So, if you want a recommendation, watch the 1922 classic, watch Nosferatu the Vampire, and then watch this film. And you'll really get a sense of what made these guys make Nosferatu. But that's all. Those are my 2 cents. So I am done, and I will see you guys next time at the movies.